All right. Hey, guys, it's Tim. This is May 12th, Friday morning. Yes, like some of you are saying in the chat, an AM stream. Like we usually try to do on Fridays, do the stream in the morning. This is Pro Wrestling Unlimited Live, episode number 15. So this is the 15th Friday show. Pretty crazy, pretty crazy. We've been doing live shows since late last year, I guess you can say, when we started off doing the live pay-per-view reviews, and then we're now doing Raw reviews live, we're doing SmackDown reviews live, and it's all because of you guys. Because you guys are always here in the live stream, that's why we can keep doing this live stream. But before we go any farther, let's see who is here with us live. We've got Ozzy Alexander, Alvaro Pereira, MMA Matt, Scott Frame, Andres Suicida, 210 Bryan 420, Walsh, Gertram Narug, Rith Thing, No Lore, Nathan Hutchinson. What is going on, guys? We've got some interesting news today about Brock Lesnar and John Cena and their possible return dates to television. WWE offering BOGO deals for actually the Raw and SmackDown John Cena and Brock Lesnar are both scheduled to return at. We've also got some news on a WWE game show. Daniel Bryan says he's going to wrestle again, and a lot more. Before we get started, I do want to say, if you want to help out Pro Wrestling Unlimited, you can do so by heading over to gawkbox.com/PW Unlimited. Doesn't cost you anything, just a few minutes of your time. Go over to gawkbox.com, download an app, watch a 15 to 30 second video clip, and then based off of what you do on that website, their advertisers then tip us. It helps us out tremendously with helping us get new things here for the channel. As some of you know, we are trying to raise some money to get a new computer so we can do better videos. Videos can come out quicker that way. And also I can do more stuff like maybe WWE video game series, like a My Career mode, a universe mode. These are a lot of things I want to do, but I also need help with upgrading my system to do so. And as you all keep asking, if I can raise enough funds, I'll also get a very nice webcam, because you guys keep saying, I want to see you on the screen. So how other ways can you help out the channel? You can hit that super chat button right down there in the chat if you're here live. You can visit our TeePublic store. Go over there, and the link is in the description. You can get any of our t-shirts. We actually have a new t-shirt. Let me see if I can pull it up here. Some of you may be interested in seeing this. We actually debuted a new t-shirt yesterday. Link for the t-shirt store, like I said, teepublic.com is in the description. And also, if you want to donate, you can also hit up the link in our description for our Streamlabs page. You can go down there, and if you're live here in the chat, you can hit one of those trigger donations and get a cool animation donation. All right. Let's see if I can get this to come up here on the screen. All right, guys. So this is the shirt I wanted to show you. This is our Braun Strowman "I'm Not Done With You" shirt. This shirt was actually, it was an idea by Signature Kevin here in one of our live streams or recently. He said, "Hey, if this was a real shirt, I'd buy it." Well, we created it. It's a real shirt. Let me know what you guys think of this shirt. Would you be interested in purchasing it? Or any of the other Pro Wrestling Unlimited shirts. We have the "I'm a Jinder Mahal guy" shirt. This shirt actually was purchased by someone who will be in the actual building on Sunday for Backlash. He says that he's going to wear the shirt and so hopes that Jinder Mahal actually comes out victorious. But we also have our other shirts, our new PWU logo, the old PWU logo, "I'm a PWU guy," "Remember guys," the old catchphrase, YouTube wrestling news, and more. So if you do want to get one of the Pro Wrestling Unlimited t-shirts, just head over to the TeePublic store. Link is in the description below. Enough selfless promotion. Let's talk wrestling. So, July 3rd and July 4th, WWE is going to be running out of Phoenix, Arizona, the Talking Stick Arena, or the Talking Stick Resort Arena. That Monday, July 3rd, they're advertising Brock Lesnar. That Tuesday, July 4th, they're actually advertising John Cena. So, that can be the day we get both John Cena and Brock Lesnar back on television. I had been saying that we're not sure when Cena was coming back because that all had to do with, what movies he was filming now, what movie he's filming next. So maybe he's only going to do the one movie right now and then come back and do the other movie later in the year. The first movie he is filming is Daddy's Home. Daddy's Home 2, actually. And then he's got one called The Pact that he's going to film as well. But, hey, on that topic as well, Good Morning America actually did a story this morning talking about how WWE superstars have become big name box office draws. I mean, of course, The Rock. They mentioned John Cena, saying how, John Cena is not only a great actor, but he's good for kids, so he would be some sort of like a great spokesperson for any brand. And then they also mentioned how Batista is in Guardians of the Galaxy, and that franchise, with just the second movie alone on its second week out, has made over $1 billion. So, hey, Michael Strahan literally asked, is WWE now a farm system for Hollywood? I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think more WWE superstars are going to get into acting? More WWE superstars are going to make their way to the big screen? Or is it just Cena, Batista, and The Rock? I mean, no one's going to be as big as The Rock. The Rock's the biggest actor in the world today, so let's see. Get back here to the chat. We've got Ryan Armstrong, Callum X, Abyed Ryan, Robert Cathy. What's going on, Robert Cathy? George Sandu says, wasn't it "I'm Not Finished With You"? Well, I have to, tweak it a little bit for copyright reasons. Robert Cathy says, when are you and HBN doing another podcast? Well, we did one this week, so hopefully we can get another one out next week. We want to try and make it a weekly thing if you guys show it enough love. If you're not sure what Robert is actually talking about, me and HBN from Heel by Nature here on YouTube actually did a 20-minute podcast-style episode just talking pro wrestling news that was going on within the last week or so. It is up on my channel right now if you do want to go check it out. It's the title is just PWU Podcast with HBN or with Heel by Nature. I think it says with Heel by Nature. So go check that out. Let me know what you think about it. Hit that thumbs up button if you liked it, and let us know in the comments of that video what you thought as well. All right. Now back on the topic of John Cena, Brock Lesnar, and how they're running in Phoenix, Arizona, the same SmackDown and Raw, the same building, back to back. WWE is actually doing something interesting because they know that on the 4th of July, they usually don't get good attendance. So WWE is offering up an amazing buy one, get one deal for both Raw and SmackDown, taking place July 3rd and July 4th from the Talking Stick Resort Arena. Apparently, the company believes that it will be hard to push tickets for sale July 3rd and July 4th for both Raw and SmackDown. So they're trying to do some sort of a deal where if you buy a ticket for one, you can actually get a ticket for the other. Interesting thing. If I lived in the Phoenix area, I'd take that up 100%. Caller, you're on the air. What's going on? Hello? Hello? All I hear is wind.
Can you hear me?
A little better.
Yeah. Is it just me, or they always put Dolph Ziggler with somebody that always comes up? Because in 2015,
I can't hear you. All I hear is wind.
Can you hear me now?
Little bit better.
I was saying, is it just me, or they always put Dolph Ziggler with somebody that comes up? Like on 2015, they put him with Tyler Breeze. Last year, they put him with Bryan Corbin, and now this year, they're putting him with Shinsuke Nakamura. Why do you think they do that?
Because they have trust in Dolph Ziggler. They use Dolph Ziggler like that to help get these guys over. They know that Dolph Ziggler's not going to have a bad match. They know that Dolph Ziggler can have good matches. So the whole thing with putting Dolph Ziggler with these guys, putting Dolph Ziggler with guys that are just coming to the main roster, it's a thing of, okay, who can we put them with that we know we trust as far as having good matches, getting them acclimated to the style. And it's just kind of like we know that he's not a guy we're pushing, but he's a guy we trust to get them ready for bigger things here on the main roster. Didn't really pan out for Tyler Breeze, but it may for Baron Corbin, and it may for Shinsuke Nakamura.
So you think his next feud might be with Ty Dillinger or something like that?
Could be, because I know the Shinsuke thing's only supposed to run till Backlash.
Yeah, because I think you said that he's going against Kevin Owens.
Right. If you look at advertising for house shows after Backlash, Shinsuke Nakamura is scheduled to be taking on Kevin Owens. Whether that comes to TV or if it's just house show stuff, we're unsure at the moment. But it could be something they do on TV. I could see it for sure.
So, do you heard anything about who's facing Brock Lesnar?
Right now, in my opinion, I think it should be Seth Rollins, but they were supposed to have a meeting either Wednesday or Thursday about all this because they want to make sure, they know what's going forward come Raw on Monday. And I know the meeting didn't take place Wednesday. It got postponed, and I haven't heard if the meeting did take place yesterday or not.
Oh, okay. That's all I got for today.
All right. Thank you. Have a great day.
All right.
Thanks for the call.
You too. All right.
Now, as far as he was asking about who can face Brock Lesnar, Wednesday they were supposed to have a meeting about, what are we going to do going forward? What are we going to do with the title picture? And the meeting didn't happen. Something happened. They're overseas, and maybe they just couldn't all get together at the same time because you have some guys doing one tour, some officials with another tour, and some guys that are still here back in the States. So the meeting didn't happen on a Wednesday. The meeting then was going to maybe happen on Thursday, yesterday, and I haven't heard anything on that, if it's going to happen or not. Let's take this call right here. Caller, you're on the air. What's going on? Caller, you're on the air. What's going on? Hello? Going once? Going twice. And gone. All right. So, yeah, I don't know if the meeting actually did take place yesterday or not. I haven't heard anything, but we'll see coming this weekend and what they do exactly about it going forward Monday. Let's see. Rift Thing says Hideo Itami will win the NXT Championship at TakeOver Chicago. No. The plan is for Hideo Itami to have they think Itami is somebody they can have a good match with Bobby Roode on a TakeOver event, but he's not slated to get that title. Right now, the plan is for Bobby Roode to, spoiler alert, the plan is for Bobby Roode to retain, and then, if they don't change anything, defend against Drew McIntyre in Brooklyn, SummerSlam weekend. What's going on? Muloud Negas. Let's see. Gertram Narang says, you know what feud would be good? Heel Roman and babyface Cena. Only issue is that they don't want to push Cena as a heel. Back after his last match going into his last match with The Rock, John Cena was told that he could get a heel run. John Cena had numerous things done for this heel run, as far as he had all new gear made, and then WWE said no. One thing that could have been a hindrance to that heel run could be that John Cena had just signed a clothing deal with, I think it was Kmart, and they didn't want that to hurt it, as far as, oh, heel John Cena, the fans aren't going to like him anymore, so let's not do that so the merch doesn't get hurt. Caller, you're on the air. What's going on?
What's going on?
Hello?
Hello?
Hello, how's it going? Can you hear me? Okay, lost him again. Let's see. Robert Cathy says, if Heel by Nature starts using HBN, I'm not letting him use that gimmick. He has to pay me a flat fee to use it. What are you talking about there, Robert? I don't understand. Well, HBN, is that you? I don't know what that's all about. Robert Cathy, buy one, get one free tickets. Kind of like when WCW used to give away tickets. Pretty much. Well, WWE is not stupid, and they know that the July 4th show is usually a down show. It's usually a low attendance show. Ratings aren't always there. And then it's SmackDown. SmackDown on 205 Live, so that also may hurt it as well, as far as, oh, well, it's just SmackDown, whatever, it's 205 Live. It's not like it's Monday Night Raw. So, yeah, and we'll have to see. Heel by Nature here in the live chat. What's going on, buddy? Oh, okay. He said heel Roman, face Cena. They don't want to push Roman as a heel, and that's the thing. They want to build Roman up as this very big baby face, so that when he does take on Brock Lesnar next year at WrestleMania, he can, in their eyes, get that big baby face pop after beating the big monster heel for the WWE Championship. Well, WWE Universal Championship. Matt Sowerby says, do you think that Ember Moon would have won the NXT Championship if she didn't get injured? I don't know. Honestly, I think there was a possibility, because they could have still said that Asuka actually didn't get beat, but Ember can take that title. Caller, you're on the air. What's going on?
Hi.
Get that big baby face pop after beating the big monster.
What's going on?
Who's this?
Hello? You called me.
Are you pro wrestling?
Yes. What's your question?
Never mind. I'm good. I'm nervous.
Okay.
Honestly,
All right. Anyways, Signature Kevin is here in the chat. Signature Kevin, what's going on? Did you see the t-shirt? Robert Cathy, Heel by Nature, going back and forth here in the chat. Heel by Nature says, I would say hair versus hair match, but you already lost that one. Ooh, shots fired. All right. So, WWE actually recently, I think right before or right around WrestleMania time, filmed a pilot episode for a new WWE Network show, and it's a game show. All we know right now is that the filming was kept very, very, very secret. WWE hasn't given out much, if any, information on this as far as what the actual theme and style of the game show is, as far as what the game is, but all we do know is that R-Truth was the host. They filmed one pilot episode. Apparently WWE officials were interested, liked it, and asked for more episodes to be filmed, and hopefully the show will start airing late summer, early fall. With this, it's like, WWE, they're looking to make the network more of a big deal. They're looking to make the network more of like a actual television channel. Right now, it's just video on demand stuff that streams randomly throughout the day, and then sometimes you'll get our pay-per-view on Sundays, and there we go. But with them adding, this game show, They're talking about a Sports Center-like show. They're talking about more of a actual, like right now they have Unfiltered with Renee Young where she interviews people, but they're looking for a more late night style kind of show like that as well for the WWE Network. They really want to make this something that can draw in more than just wrestling fans. Caller, you're on the air. What's going on?
Oh, hi. Can you post a video about your booking for SummerSlam?
We don't know any booking for SummerSlam right now because everything's so
fancy booking.
fantasy booking.
Fancy booking.
Fancy booking?
Yeah,
What I would like to see?
Yeah, like you should post like a video of that.
Okay, we can look into it, but I mean, we don't even know what they're going to do right now because Braun Strowman's injured. So we don't know what that means for Brock Lesnar and the championship. We don't know what that means for Roman Reigns and if he's going for and getting the Intercontinental Championship. If John Cena comes back before SummerSlam, we don't know where he's going to be put in there. There's a lot of questions that we really can't answer right now, even if it was just fantasy booking, because there's a lot of things being shifted around this next couple of weeks.
Maybe he could return to tag with Randy Orton, John Cena.
No, that ain't gonna happen. I can almost guarantee you that.
Okay, thank you.
Not a problem. Have a good day. Thanks for the call.
Okay.
Now, see, if this was the last week, I can maybe do a fantasy booking thing for SummerSlam because things were, we can kind of see where things were going. But right now, with Braun Strowman now out, with the news that they want to maybe put the IC title on Roman Reigns, with the news of John Cena possibly now coming back before SummerSlam, there's a lot of ifs. There's a lot of questions. There's a lot of, what is going on here? And they don't even know, to be honest. They may have a couple ideas as far as big matches for SummerSlam. But as far as everything else, other than maybe like the 2 world title matches, they may not even know. And here's the question. What if Jinder gets that title at Backlash? Does he hold it all the way to SummerSlam? Does he lose it to Rusev at Money in the Bank? Does Rusev even get his match at Money in the Bank and it ends up being a Jinder-Orton rematch? We don't know. There's too many ifs right now to fantasy book SummerSlam. All right. Mike Rogers says, when will Kofi get a world title push? I don't see. I could have saw it back when he was feuding with Randy Orton. Maybe get like a opportunity. I can never see Kofi actually getting the championship. But I could have saw back then when he was feuding with Orton getting a championship opportunity, because that feud, Orton and Kofi Kingston, was great. But I don't see it now, especially with them putting him in the New Day, making him a full-on comedy guy. I just don't see it happening. Thing, if WWE make an Asian championship and Latin American championship, will make an inter-brand or intercontinental brand with UK championship. That's all unknown right now. We don't know, because right now they're working on the UK stuff. They've talked about wanting to do stuff down there in Mexico, Latin America. They've talked about wanting to do stuff in Asia, over there in Japan. They've wanted to do stuff in India, maybe partner up with Great Khali and his school. But right now, their focus is the UK. That's the, I guess you could say, territory they're going after right now. And then we'll go from there. George Sandu, does Skype call work? Yes, it works. People have called in already here today. Let's see. Thing. Adam Cole, Jay Lethal will go to NXT and change their names like Kevin Owens and Finn Balor. Well, Jay Lethal actually just did an interview recently that said, he said, quote, when I first started wrestling, my goal, like most, was I want to go to WWE. But because of what he's done in his career up to now, he says that he wouldn't mind not ever making it to the WWE. He said if WWE's never interested in me, if they never signed me, I wouldn't feel like I didn't accomplish anything because of everything I've already done here in Ring of Honor, when he was in TNA, and all around the world. So Jay Lethal going to WWE, haven't heard anything, and he's not really concerned about never making it to WWE. As far as Adam Cole goes, I know there's interest by WWE. I know he is a free agent, hasn't had a contract signed with anybody yet. He was free as of May 1st. He is working tonight's Ring of Honor show, actually. And then we go from there. Like I said, he is a free agent. He's working a date-by-date basis with Ring of Honor. And I know WWE is kind of taking a step back on signing Ring of Honor guys. Like, if you think about it, the last Ring of Honor guy they brought in was Roderick Strong. They wanted to bring in Kyle O'Reilly. There was issues with that as far as them trying to contact Kyle O'Reilly too early. They were interested in Donovan Dijak, but they backed off on that because of the Kyle O'Reilly issues. So, I mean, Adam Cole would be an amazing pickup, even if he's just put in NXT for 6 to 12 months. Amazing. Adam Cole is one of the best wrestlers in the world right now, not signed to the WWE. I mean, when you comprise a list of who are the best guys in all of pro wrestling right now, you've got AJ Styles, Kenny Omega, Kazuchika Okada. I mean, you can put Adam Cole right there. Top 5, 4th, and, I mean, who's another one you could? Finn Balor or Kevin Owens. There you go. I'd put Kevin Owens in that top 5 as best wrestlers right now in the world. A few of them come from WWE, a few of them come from New Japan, and then you got, Adam Cole. And what I would love to see is Adam Cole come to the main roster, and unfortunately he may have to be a babyface for this, but feud with Kevin Owens. Because like I said before, if you think the Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn stuff is great, if you think because they're such good friends that their chemistry is perfect in the ring, just wait till you see a Kevin Owens-Adam Cole match. They've done it before, and oh my God, are they perfect together in the ring. When they say you're willing to hit your friends harder than just a random opponent, it's true. I mean, we've seen it with Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, and Kevin Owens is just as good friends, if not better friends, with Adam Cole. Robert Cathy says, if WWE has all these titles for different countries, wouldn't that diminish their world belts? A little bit, I feel. That's a very good analogy. And yeah, I think it would. Because unless their world champion is going to all of these countries defending his title, you can't call him a world champion in all honesty. I mean, yes, everything under the main roster, NXT, the UK Championship, 205 Live, I guess you can even say, under the main roster, almost doesn't count in the WWE's universe. So that's probably how they would swing it as far as, oh, well, they're undercard stuff. They're not the actual main roster. They don't count for that title. But it could diminish it as far as, you have a world champion. Make your world champion defend that title around the world. Gertrude says, do you think that WWE would push New Day like they did with the Shield, then break them up and push each of them as singles? Nah, I don't think so. Honestly, I mean, we can't. I don't know. I can say I don't think so, but we don't know because we didn't think that would happen with the Shield. In all honesty, everyone thought the Shield would stick together. One of them would get, highlighted more than the other, like Dean Ambrose was at first. Dean was the United States champion. Seth and Roman were tag team champions. So we thought maybe Seth and Roman would stay, as a tag team unit-ish. And then Dean would get that big push. No one ever saw. Nobody expected, and that's what was so good about it. Nobody expected Seth Rollins to break up the Shield, to become that breakout star, to become the first one of the 3 to be a world champion. Robert Cathy says, Kevin Owens versus Adam Cole. Stop teasing your fans. We could only dream about that definite classic. I mean, just look it up on YouTube. They've had matches all over the country before in the indies and stuff. Here, let me see if I can find one for you guys. And I'll put the link. I'll link you. It would be Kevin Steen versus Adam Cole. Let's see. And there you go, from PWG. I'll also put the link in the description for people that aren't here live. Check it out. Link is in the chat. Link is in the description. I'll put it the first thing in the actual description. Boom, baby. So if you guys want to see Kevin Owens, well, Kevin Steen, as he was called back then, versus Adam Cole from PWG, check this out. I mean, all their matches together were great. They've had matches for the Ring of Honor Championship. Here's another one I'm going to give you guys. Copy link address. This one was for Steen v. Cole ROH title. Caller, you're on the air. What's going on?
Imagine the Shield versus the Hardy Boys.
Who versus the Hardy Boys?
The Shield.
The Shield versus the Hardy Boys. Okay. Now, there's the issue with that, though. The Shield's broken up. Yes, they can put the Shield back together, but I don't think that's a good idea at all. Especially with how the fans hate Roman Reigns right now. It would hurt both Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose, in my opinion.
They could add like an extra superstar to the Shield. Like, I don't have to explain it. Like,
but then you just keep adding random guys. Then what is this? The NWO Black or NWO White? When you just had random people in the group, it's like the Bullet Club now. They're adding too many random people, and people are almost not caring. So I get where you could say, oh, the Shield versus the Hardys could be cool, but the Shield's long gone. The Shield's done. The Shield was. Here's the thing. People think the Shield was actually bigger than it actually was. The Shield was around for a few years. They had a couple notable feuds as a group, but all three guys have done way more and way better for themselves as singles competitors.
oh, thank you.
Not a problem. Thanks for the call. Have a good day. See, that's the thing that I don't understand. People were always like, the Shield needs to get back together. It's one of the greatest groups of all time. The Shield wasn't really together that long, at least on the main roster. They had some runs with championships, like I said. Rollins and Reigns as tag champions. Dean was the U.S. champion. But as far as, like, what did they accomplish and what did they really do as a team, they've done so much more, accomplished so much more, been so much bigger as singles guys. I mean, think about it. What was their biggest things that they did? I mean, they had that 6-man at WrestleMania against, who was it? Orton, Sheamus, and The Big Show? They feuded with Evolution. I mean, other than that, I mean, they feuded with the Wyatts too. But other than those little things, what things did the Shield do as a faction, as a unit, that can make you say, oh, that's one of the greatest, factions of all time. That's one of the greatest groups ever in the company. Nothing, in my opinion. Yes, they were cool. They were different-ish. As they came through the crowd. When they first came out, they were just like this militant SWAT kind of group. And I mean, let me know in the comments, let me know in the chat here, why do people think the Shield was so much bigger than they actually were? I just don't understand it. I don't get it. I liked the Shield, but I'm not one of those people that's still clamoring to see them again because they were so great as a 3-man unit. Seth Rollins, World Heavyweight Champion. Amazing heel by himself. I mean, when he was with the Authority, all that stuff. I mean, Seth Rollins, one of the best in the world today. You've got Roman Reigns, multi-time WWE World Heavyweight Champion. The guy that the WWE is pushing. The guy that the WWE wants to put the entire company on. Cool. Fans love to hate him. Fans love to love him. If you go to house shows, you would know this. And then you have Dean Ambrose, former WWE World Heavyweight Champion. Yes, he's more of a comedy guy than the other two. Some people don't take Dean Ambrose seriously, but he's still good. And you would have never known that side of this Dean Ambrose character if he was still in the Shield. You would never know. I can go on forever about this. They're not as good as people think. I mean, yes, the Shield together was great, but they keep bringing it up as far as they were one of the greatest of all time. No. Signature Kevin here in the chat says, well, who do you think is the greatest faction in WWE? D-Generation X. There you go. There's one right there. And not the New Age Outlaws X-Pac DX. No, the original DX, where it was just Shawn, Hunter, Chyna. You got Evolution was great. Triple H, Ric Flair, Randy Orton, Batista. I loved Evolution. You've got the Four Horsemen. Yes, they were never together in the WWE, but that's another great group. You have, who else? Even the Radicals. Eddie Guerrero, Dean Malenko, Perry Saturn, Chris Benoit were better and more impactful, you can say, than the Shield. I mean, who else? I'm just saying, like, they didn't do anything historic, I guess you can say, in my opinion. I could be wrong, and people can, like I said, in the chat here, in the comments below, let me know your opinions, but I'm not saying I hated them. They just didn't do it as far as, like, I want to see them back together that bad. I mean, the New Day did more than the Shield did as a three-man unit. The New Day, longest reigning WWE Tag Team Champions ever. Even the New Day can say that they've made history as a group. The Shield? No. I mean, what? They beat Evolution 2.0, if you really wanted to call it that, with Randy, Triple H, and Batista? Let's see. Puck Raven says the Shield's most notable thing was the long winning streak they had in six-man tag team action. Yeah, I mean, they had a winning streak. Over just when WWE would just say, okay, we need three guys to go together against the Shield. And it wasn't like, I don't know. Robert Cathy says the perfect line right here. The Shield ran their course. It's over. Exactly. Yes, they can get back together for like a match down the road. But as far as putting them back together as a full-time unit, as a full-time three-man team, never needs to happen again. Sorry to say that. We're thinking Aces and Eights will ever debut in WWE. If WWE, no. WWE almost brought in Bully Ray. Okay, so Bubba did an interview with Sports Illustrated a while ago now. And he said that him and WWE officials had countless meetings about the Bully Ray character. They told him, we're going to do it. It was supposed to debut on a Monday Night Raw. It was right before they got released, or he left. They were supposed to debut the Bully Ray character on Raw, and that Sunday, the night before, the day before, he was told, we're not doing it. We're not bringing in this character. Sorry. So he said, fine. When my contract's up, I'm leaving. And that's what happened. Bully Ray almost came to the WWE, and in his words, he said the day before he was told, never mind. So he left. Devon stayed, is now a producer backstage. Bubba now signed a one-year deal with Ring of Honor. Him and the Briscoes are the six-man tag team champions, and bada boom. Everything's played out the way it has. Rithing says, Batista will ever return to WWE. Batista was on Jericho's podcast. I talked about this earlier this week. Batista was on Jericho's podcast, and he said, I want to come back for one more run. I want to do one more program, but it has to be with Triple H. He said that he's had multiple conversations with Vince, that he's called Vince. And every time Vince says, well, we'll see what we can do. We'll look into it and we'll get back to you. And Vince never does. He gets back to Vince and said, and he said on the Jericho podcast, if they don't want to do it, then fine. But I just wanted one last run, one last retirement match, and then he would be completely 100% done with wrestling. George Sandu says, what's happening with the ratings? They are horrible, and it's not even football season. It's because the shows aren't good. The last two episodes of Monday Night Raw have been nothing shows. I mean, 2 weeks ago, you can say the show was dead other than that triple threat main event. But this week's Raw, you can't even say other than. Everything was dead. Everything was horrible. The show itself was no good. And I don't know what they're going to do. I know this week their out is well, everything was supposed to be centered around Braun Strowman, and Braun's injured, so we couldn't do what we wanted to do, so we had to rewrite the show last minute because they didn't find out that Strowman's going to be out of action until Monday. So, I don't know. I don't know what their thinking is right now as far as, I mean, they think, at least Vince thinks, he's putting on the best show he can. And if that's the case, then the best show you can ain't good enough, I guess. I mean, maybe they'll get better now that they have to focus on somebody else. Maybe that, oh crap, the guy Braun Strowman, who we had everything centered around and all plans, you know, he was our nucleus and everything else is strung off of that. Now we have to do something else. Maybe something good can come from that. Maybe Strowman being gone for 2 months can actually help him when he comes back. We've seen it before. Look at Neville. Neville was doing nothing on the main roster, got injured, came back, and now look at him. Like, that helped his career tenfold. Finn has risen 543 says, if it wasn't for ROH and NXT, Seth Rollins would be nothing. I don't know about that. I mean, he's great. Yes, he's a former Ring of Honor World Champion as Tyler Black in Ring of Honor. But I don't know if you could say he would have been nothing. I mean, you can't even put NXT in that because that's just WWE. I mean, you could say if there was no Ring of Honor, he'd be nothing. Maybe because WWE may not have seen his potential if he was just working random indies. But you can't say if there was no NXT, he'd be nothing because you can't. You just can't. Because WWE's always had developmental systems. They've always had feeder systems, whether it was OVW, whether it was FCW, or whether now it's the Performance Center in NXT. WWE would have always seen the potential he had in their farm systems. I just going to say your last name because I can't say your first name without botching it. Barrios says Eve Torres is returning. Not that I've heard. All that I can tell you is Eve Torres did a signing at Access. That was it. Other than that, nothing with Eve Torres. Same with Kelly Kelly. Kelly Kelly did a signing at Access. Everyone thought, Kelly Kelly signed a deal. She's going to wrestle for the next 3 years. No. I don't know why all these random-ass websites kept saying that Kelly Kelly signed a deal, that she's been at the Performance Center training, that she's going to be back on the main roster, that she's getting a woman's title shot. And nothing of that happened. And I told you all nothing of that was happening. And nobody wanted to believe me because every other website, well, not every other, but all these other websites were posting it that she signed, that she cut a deal with the WWE. So, I mean, I told you she didn't. And what was it? She signed a deal to come and do one Access signing, and they showed her in the crowd at the Hall of Fame. That was it. Robert Cathy says, ever since Raw went 3 hours, the show's been on a decline. Very true. If you do look at the progression of ratings, ever since the 3 hour mark started, now not just because they've done 3 hour Raws before back in the day, but I mean when 3 hour was like the new norm, when 3 hours was the first time 3 hours was that's what's every week. Yes. Gert Sharan says, Rock for President 2020. We'll have to wait and see. I did read his comments. And it was a GQ magazine. So, I don't know. He can always say, to be honest, he just said, if I was president, this is what I would do. He never actually said, I'm going to run for president. So, Finishers in 543, he's talented, but be honest, Ring of Honor made him. Same with El Generico and Kevin Steen. You can say that, but with I don't remember how much PWG stuff, if any, Rollins ever did. But I know with Steen, with Kevin Owens, a lot of his best stuff was, yes, Ring of Honor, but a lot of his really good stuff was Pro Wrestling Guerrilla, PWG. Matt Sowerby, what is your dream match? Current roster, mine is Balor versus Zayn. Well, I mean, everybody's dream match, Nakamura, AJ Styles, and especially since we know what they can do on a big stage. We saw it in 2016 Wrestle Kingdom for the Intercontinental Championship in New Japan Pro Wrestling. If you haven't seen that match, amazing match. Let me see if I can get you guys the link here. AJ Styles versus Nakamura, Wrestle Kingdom. If you haven't seen this match, which surprises me that a lot of people haven't, if you haven't seen the match from Wrestle Kingdom 10, excuse me, AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura for the IWGP, or New Japan Pro Wrestling, whatever you want to call it, Intercontinental Championship. Styles v. Nakamura, Wrestle Kingdom 10. Check this match out. Link in the description. Nakamura, AJ Styles, Wrestle Kingdom 10, IWGP, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Intercontinental Championship. Amazing match. This is why people want to see AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura at WrestleMania, because on a big stage, we know they can do great things. Other matches that I would love to see, I mean, we're getting into Backlash. Kevin Owens versus AJ Styles. Those are my two favorite wrestlers in WWE today, and they're wrestling for the U.S. title. So not only are they having a pay-per-view match, they're having a championship match. So they're both going to be motivated. It's going to be good. With thing in the last years, Roman was only won. Royal Rumble was only won by veterans and Roman Reigns. Yeah, very true. Let's see. Robert Cathy, Rockin' Ventura 2020, even Colin Kaepernick would vote for that. Oh my God. Robert Cathy, Rollins has talent. He wouldn't have made it. He would have made it somewhere else. Oh yeah, for sure. Seth Rollins is one of the best wrestlers in the industry right now. So yeah, he really could have made it anywhere. He could have gone to Japan. He could have stayed in Ring of Honor and become an even bigger star like Adam Cole has. He could have gone anywhere. TNA if he really wanted to. I'm pretty sure he did have a match in TNA because all his ROH guys have had matches in TNA. Dean Ambrose has had a match in TNA before he signed with WWE. So, I mean, Seth Rollins, if MTV would have stuck with it, Seth Rollins, Tyler Black, MTV had a show called Wrestling Society X. Seth Rollins was going to be pushed as their top guy. Tyler Black back in, I don't even remember when the show ran. But yeah, when they were doing that show, they were going to push him as one of, if not the top guy in that entire company. But MTV cut it after a 10-episode run, so. Let's see. What else are you guys saying here in the chat? I do got to talk about Daniel Bryan here for a second, though, before we get too far into this and then the stream ends. Before we're done here, Daniel Bryan was interviewed by Kenny McIntosh recently and talked about wrestling again when his contract expires with WWE. Daniel Bryan said, and I quote, "It all depends on how I feel my health is and how my wife feels my health is. If we feel my health is good, I love to wrestle, and I'm going to go wrestle." He then went on to say that he knows why WWE won't clear him. He knows that there's concerns. He knows that there's issues. He knows that there's liabilities with him wrestling again. So, I mean, he's all but flat out said, even on WWE programming, even on Talking Smack, that when his contract's up with WWE, he's going to do what he can to look into wrestling again. He's going to get as many doctors to approve him as he can. He's going to look in as far as what things will he have to change about his in-ring style? What things will he have to change about, himself so he can wrestle again? Because his ultimate goal, it seems like right now, is to leave WWE as soon as he can and then go work somewhere else. He's always wanted to do an anniversary show for AAA in Mexico. Ring of Honor would take him back. He was one of their biggest stars ever. He can go to New Japan Pro Wrestling. He can work indies all around the country. I mean, go work couple PWG shows. It's not like he's not going to find work outside of WWE. It's a fact of what will his limitations be? What will doctors be telling him by then? And, what do him and his wife feel is going to happen by then? But with that, I do have to say that that's going to do it for today's live stream. Thank you, everybody that was here. Thank you, everybody that called, chatted with us, and we'll be live again Monday after Raw. Thanks, guys.